I'm going to say all of the presidents of the United States in 1 second.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 9 of Acts of Geekery. I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek, here to bring you all the geeky things in the world of geekdom.
All the geekdoms.
Yes, all the geekdoms.
Except for the ones we don't like.
Well, even those ones sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we do that too.
Yeah. Anime, I'm looking at you. I'm apparently the anime hater on the show.
I wouldn't say I hate it, but I wouldn't say I love it.
Yeah, there's certain ones I like.
I mean, I've been addicted to a couple. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been known to watch every DBZ episode ever produced, but you know.
See, I couldn't even do that. Oh my gosh.
I tried rewatching it last year or the year before, and I got about 17 episodes in, and they're real short when there's no commercials. They're like 17 minutes long, so they're real quick. I mean, they're barely longer than like the standard YouTube episode of something, you know?
Yeah.
And I just really could not finish it.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get into, that is for sure.
Although all the stuff that everyone exaggerates, sorry folks, if you heard a crazy noise, that was Cory moving his microphone.
Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry. I am supposed to do that before the podcast, but I forgot.
Yes, adjust yourself before the podcast, all right?
Nice. I like that.
And there goes our PG rating.
No, we're good. We're good. We didn't say
Is there ratings on podcasts?
explicit or not, I guess.
Explicit or not explicit? Well, I can be explicit.
We are already off topic. I love it. I love it.
We didn't start on topic.
That's true.
So we're
Scott,
on the right topic.
We're going to start out today with news.
On episode 9.
On episode 9. I already said episode 9.
I don't hear you.
Yeah, you don't listen to me.
No, I
don't.
don't. I don't listen to you. I always go back and I'll catch clips and stuff, or you'll tell me something that we said on the podcast, and I'll be like, I said that? Or you said that? That's pretty good.
Yeah. This is the last episode that can be considered in like the block of Star Wars movies as so far as they have planned.
Oh, so we're in uncharted territory.
And we've been doing this for 2 months.
We're going to the space Badlands after this.
Badlands.
Badlands. Space Badlands. That doesn't work.
No, yeah, we're just gonna move on.
We're usually pretty good at mashing stuff up, mershing stuff up. I'm mershing.
Mershing some
I'm from Mers.
Is that Mars and Earth?
Mers.
F
yeah. Mers.
Oh my gosh. This episode is going so poorly.
Why do you say that?
No reason.
I don't know. At least I'm not calling them viewers like you did before the episode.
Gosh. Oh, you make me so want to shoot myself. That was
not in front of the camera. I mean, the microphone.
That is the cap on my teenage girl for the week. So we are good to go for the rest of the episode.
Your teenage emo.
Yeah.
You're ruining my life.
You don't understand me.
I'm going to go live with some Smurfs. That's what the teenage girls are saying nowadays, right?
Yeah. My Little Ponies.
Okay. Yeah,
no, that would be the teenage boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live with some bronies. That just means he's gonna live with a bunch of other guys that are in their 30s. And
probably, well, you know what? We're not going to get into that because we do want to keep our clean tag. No, we're going to start out today with Warner Brothers DC news, like we always do.
Yay! Is this Batman v Superman, or we should say BVS Dawn of Justice?
We could just call it Dawn of Justice.
BVS DOJ.
We've already been calling it Dawn of Justice, so why are you trying to fix the format?
BVS DOJ news. Got it.
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
It's Shazam news. Shazam.
That's already an acronym. I can't change that.
Yeah, exactly. What does it stand for, by the way? What's the full thing?
I could not tell you off the top of my head, but it's like it's all the different mythical characters. Like H is Hercules and Z is Zeus,
Solomon,
I think. Yeah, like Wisdom of Solomon, the Speed of Hercules,
Solomon,
or the
Hercules, Atlas, Strength of Atlas, or whatever. I don't know. And then Zeus, Achilles, and Midas.
No,
it wouldn't be Midas.
He just turns everything to gold.
Yeah,
he's kind
of of Midas.
He's kind of worthless, but also really rich.
Yeah. How do you think he affords all of his? How do you afford your superhero lifestyle?
How do you afford your superhero lifestyle?
Yeah. No, we're going to start out by saying that The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, has confirmed that he is going to be in the Shazam movie.
Did he say who?
No, unfortunately, he
Black
said
Adam.
he can't tell you whether he's Shazam or Black Adam. Like, he specifically said, I can't tell you whether I'm Shazam or whether I'm Black Adam.
He's too black to be Shazam.
He's too Adam to be Black Adam.
What?
I don't know. You said black for Shazam, and I was like, I don't. My mind went to a weird place.
Yeah, because I've seen him photoshopped up and his picture's doctored to look like Black Adam, and he looks just like him, just like in the comic. It's kind of creepy, actually, how well he portrays that character.
Yeah, I don't.
Looks alone. I don't know how well he'll do in acting. I guess he's just got to get really mad and yell a lot, which is what he did in Hercules. So
yeah, and he did pretty good in that.
Pretty good. He's kind of goofy when he yells, though.
Mm-hmm.
At least when he's yelling a motivational speech, I kind of laugh. I'm like,
today's our independent. Like, that's the only speech that I can ever think of when I'm thinking about that is the Independence Day speech.
I want someone to take like a famous, like Martin Luther King Jr.'s, I Have a Dream speech, or what's the speech from Kennedy where he talks about, like, we believe these truths to be self-evident, but I need someone to yell it, and they need to be garbed in only a loincloth.
That's the only way to get a speech across ever.
Everyone to listen to. Hey,
the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, and wind blowing that loincloth.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. That's the only way to get people to actually listen to your speeches.
Yeah.
Is by coming on stage, mostly naked, with nothing but a loincloth, and yelling out some inspirational words.
That's how you get my vote. Sorry to say it. So, Scott, I have a couple existential questions for you. Not really existential. So these are questions that I every now and then at work I ask my coworkers a hypothetical question and let them answer it. So I'm going to give you the same one.
And I love these stories.
Yes.
I love hearing their responses and stuff.
So if you could have any science job, like a scientist job, where you had good work, a steady paycheck, what type of scientist would you be?
So we're talking in the STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Is that all included, or just like pure science?
Well, you say something, and I'll tell you whether or not I consider it a scientist.
I would probably want to be like an engineer of some sort. Probably like a electrical engineer.
How about we limit it to studying?
Okay, if I had to study, well, that's hard though, because then you're stuck with like theoretical physics and biologist and. But even then, biologists do tests. And things.
Well, I mean, that's that. I would consider any ologist. How about that?
Engineerologist.
An engineerologist.
No, I would have to choose. I'd probably have to choose a experimental physicist.
Yeah,
because they get to play around with lasers and magnets and particles and
accelerators,
and a very large accelerator in Geneva, which is on my bucket list to go to.
To play with.
I'm gonna go when I'm like 90, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna stand in the accelerator. You just turn it on. Whatever happens, guys.
Yeah. Have you ever had somebody in there before?
Have you ever had atoms shot through you at 99.99% the speed of light? No? Well, I'll be the first one to do it.
Yep. I'll tell you how it feels in the 2 seconds I'm alive.
It was great. It'd just be screams.
Yes.
Horrible screams that you couldn't hear because they have no microphones inside the tube. I don't think they have microphones in there to record sound or anything.
Some of the other answers I heard, biologist was, or not a biologist. A biologist actually. Biologist was one.
Okay.
Botanist came up. Exobiologist, a bug scientist.
Is that? I always thought that exobiology was something non-human.
No, that's xenobiology.
Oh, I would be a xenobiologist.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, I would be a xenobiologist because if I have steady work, that means alien creatures are real.
I take back my theoretic or my experimental physicist.
Yeah.
I think I would probably do better in the astrophysics.
Yeah.
Or cosmology.
Marine biologist came up too, like specifically for marine animals, which would be really cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that like that.
Yeah.
So.
Next question. You have
is this
to
a
teach
new segment? We're gonna do theoretical
questions. Yeah,
theoretical
because
questions.
We don't have enough segments on this show already.
Theoretical questions with Dr. Cory.
Cory, if Mjolnir, blah blah blah. No, I can't answer any questions like that.
If your shirt is not tucked into your pants, then your pants are tucked into your shirt.
Crazy. That's true, actually.
It's totally true.
Okay, next question. You are. You have to teach a course at Hogwarts. You're a teacher at Hogwarts. What class do you teach?
Science.
Like it's a wizard. You have to teach a wizarding
Wizard
class.
science.
What?
Wizard programming. I can program stuff for wizards. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you need your wand reprogrammed? Bring it over here. We'll plug it into the wand port.
Wow. Just wow, Scott. That.
It's a new class, and they better start offering it at Hogwarts. Pissed.
I told the people who work, I'm like, okay, you can't do Defense Against the Dark Arts because we want you to go more than a year. So
that's true. None of them ever last.
Yeah, I picked Care for Magical Creatures, Hagrid's
that was kind of
class,
cool
because I love magical creatures.
What else is there? There's like the one
Transfiguration. There's Charms, as the Astro one, Potions.
The astrology one I wouldn't be good at because I think it's all a bunch of bull crap. So,
well, if it's true,
I guess it's true. If it's in the wizard world,
actually, you know what? They even say that in the books. They're like, yeah, this is kind of hokum, like
hokum pokum.
Yeah, hocus pocus. It's even in the wizarding world, people don't believe in it.
Yeah, I mean the position of your stars at your birth don't really mean nothing. Yeah. But whatever. I don't know. I don't know what else. What else is there? I would be.
There's.
You could be a nurse. You could be the janitor. Is that a class so you can teach how to?
Yeah, the caretaker.
How to take care of wizards that have too much money.
Yeah,
because it's not the only wizard school out there, by the way. There are many others apparently in the Harry Potter world.
That's true. Like there's one in America. There's the 4 that deal with the Goblet of Fire and everything. While we're on the subject of Harry Potter, I have some Harry Potter news.
You could be a Quidditch coach.
Quidditch, yeah.
Be a dragon wrangler.
That's not a school teacher.
It should be.
Dragon wrangling.
I'm gonna teach you how to wrangle dragons.
Like this.
Here, you put the leash around their neck, and you don't stand in front of them. You have to stand on their back leg, just like World of Warcraft taught me.
Yes.
You can't be close enough to the tail to get hit with the tail, and you can't be close enough to the front to be hit with the fire breath or the claws. So you got to be right on their back leg. Back leg.
Thank you, World of Warcraft, for teaching us how to defend against dragons.
How to at least stand next to them without dying.
SDRA. Standard dragon rules apply.
Yep.
The Harry Potter news I have.
Wait, you never told us what was yours?
Yeah,
I picked creatures.
Care for Magical Creatures. And then other ones were Transfiguration. And
I would have to think. I don't know enough about the Harry Potter world.
You should probably read up on it.
I'd be an artificer, and I teach artificing.
Wizard science.
Wizard science. Exactly.
Yes. So Harry Potter, the spin-off movie that's coming, The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, is going to be directed by David Yates. David Yates did the last 4 Harry Potter movies. I think he did a pretty good job of them. 5, 6, 7, and 7.
Rewind the clock. New Harry Potters? I do not remember this at all.
You've never heard of the spin-off movie that's coming?
Vaguely?
So it's not based on the regular series. It's not based on Harry Potter and everything like that and their adventures. It's based on J.K. Rowling's other book.
And they were going to make an appearance or something.
Yeah, they were going to probably appear in it and everything. So that's going to be an interesting. I mean, it's just kind of Warner Brothers trying to milk that cash cow again. But you know what?
Poor cow. Those coins have been coming out of its udders for years. It's all sickly looking. You can see its ribs.
Yes.
They keep feeding it.
It looks like a sad cartoon cow.
They have to feed it money to have it produce more money. And so it's
I would gladly feed something money if it produced more money.
They grab the udder and it's like a roll of quarters and they push and it just like quarters come out of it.
Oh my gosh, it's awful.
Like I said, that poor cow. It sounds very, very painful.
Oh gosh. And then J.K. Rowling came out with another short story on the Potterverse website where she came out with the last one.
What was her last one?
The last one was kind of a the older generation, Harry Potter, when they're all older and everything, get together for a World Cup, and you get to see kind of their life afterwards. Just kind of an after story.
If she wanted more money, I mean, she's already a multimillionaire.
Yeah, she's actually making new books, I think, based on the children of the Harry Potter series.
I was gonna say, if she wanted more money, all she has to do is just be like, subscribe to my website. It's $5 a month. I come out with a short story every month. And people will be like, I love it.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, seriously, shut up and take my rupees.
Yeah, my, what do they call them? Griffins?
No, they're like gold somethings.
Crap.
Galleons.
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 Galleons? I don't know.
Karen Gillan?
Karen Gillan.
Amy Pond? Nebula? Guardians of the Galaxy?
Okay.
Hey, Guardians of the Galaxy!
I knew. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy that you would automatically. So yeah, you did see Guardians of the Galaxy.
I did.
Time. What'd you think of it the second time through?
Oh, I thought it was so much better.
Better? The second time?
Yeah. So I gave it 5 stars last time, or 5 geek cards out of 5 geek cards. I think I'm gonna up that to 5.5 out of 5 geek cards.
That's not possible.
House ruled. It is.
No, 5 geek cards is at the speed of light. You can't go over it.
5.5 geek cards in a warp bubble. Not technically going faster than the speed of
Okay, you beat me with geek science, wizard science.
Give me half a geek card so I can add it to my 5.5 geek cards. Thank you.
The last question that I have that I actually didn't tell my store employees. They're not my employees. Coworkers.
You hear that? Cory pays you all. So if you're not making enough money,
I'm secretly the boss.
Go after him.
Yeah. Is if you could have any fictional dog, what dog would it be?
Okay. So, would like Lassie technically be fictional?
Yes, Lassie would technically be a fictional dog.
Really, I don't know. Maybe it's based off a true dog story.
Yeah. No, I mean any dog from cartoon, movie, TV shows. So like the dog from the Sandlot, the big dog from the Sandlot, if you really wanted to. Clifford, which I would not want in Clifford. Those poops would be terrible to clean up.
Oh man, the horror! If you thought that the cash cow was in trouble,
yeah.
I mean, oh, poor Clifford, poor girl.
Yeah.
The dad's like, "Here you go, go out and clean up with poop." Hands her a snow shovel.
Hands her the keys to the dump truck,
to the backhoe.
Yes.
What about like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch? Because he fakes being a dog.
Not a dog. He's an alien experiment.
But that would rule out like Cosmo.
No, Cosmo's a dog.
But he's an alien experiment.
Yeah, but he got experimented on as a dog.
I'm using your logic against you.
No, Stitch was not a dog in the first place. There's no way that you can say that Stitch is a dog.
He sucked his arms in. That made him a dog.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't make him a dog.
Anyways,
I suck my arms, and it doesn't make me a dog.
It wouldn't matter anyway. It would be Crypto, super dog.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Mine would be Cosmo, just because I could talk to him.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
would he have the voice of Nathan Fillion playing a Russian accent?
I would hope so.
So that it would fulfill your Guardians of the Galaxy cameo fantasy.
Yep. That exactly. Nice. If I could program the voice into it, that is
if Nathan Fillion ever comes to Comic-Con, to Salt Lake Comic-Con, I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, "Can you say something Cosmo would say in a Russian accent?"
He'd be like, "Who's Cosmo?"
I'd be like, "Cosmo the space dog."
You would be like, "Nathan Fillion, give me a geek card."
Well, here's a geek card. There's 2 geek cards. Hand me one back.
By the way,
he would be an honorary.
Comic-Con's in 2 weeks. We need to get those cards made. Or I mean, you want advertising?
I know.
I was thinking we can make some like laminated ones to give to people as like a permanent geek card. It can't be taken away for like celebrities and things. Like it doesn't matter what you say to get a geek card taken away. You will always have this one because you have been in geekdom.
You are an honorary geek.
Yep.
It's like when they give out diplomas and not diplomas but degrees.
Yes.
To people. Mm-hmm. It's like you're an Oxford alumni. You never went here, but you're still our alumni
because you paid us money. I guarantee you that's probably why.
I don't know. Anyway,
let's get back into the news. This was an incredible off-topic.
Yeah, Mr. Kind of existential crisis, man.
Sorry. So Scott, do you like the Marvels?
I like to marvel at the Marvels.
How marvelous!
You got
sorry.
They're marvelous.
Well, they got a lot of movies coming out. Ant-Man started production finally.
Yay! About time. They finally find a crew and director and cast and writers and stuff that would actually stay.
They released the first picture of Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, except for it's just him in a hoodie. It doesn't look like he's wearing a suit at all.
If it's not like the full like helmet with the antenna and stuff, it won't be. But I'm gonna be kind of like,
No, I don't. Maybe not the antennas, but I know they have the helmet.
I thought they already released a picture of him riding a.
I know they did that for Comic-Con, but I'm not sure what kind of footage that was. So, but Doctor Strange is coming soon after that. Doctor Strange, the movie, Doctor Strange, the Scientist Supreme.
He's no, he's not a Scientist Supreme.
I was trying to catch you there.
That is AIM.
I was trying to catch you there.
That is AIM.
Because you're sitting here looking at your phone.
I'm going to take your geek card. No, I just got a random text.
What is it?
Downhill in a tire.
From who?
From our mother. Oh, maybe she rolled down a hill in a tire. Why are you hiding this from us, Mom?
What's going on?
That sounds like fun.
No, I was testing you. I was testing you to see if you were listening.
I'm still taking a geek card away from you.
No, you can't.
You faked. No, even if it was a fake.
No, that can't be a rule. But we will discuss this off the air.
We have to make the rules then, because otherwise you could just say, I was just testing you. I was saying that Chewbacca was from Star Trek.
No, but there's a difference between what I was saying and what. Forget it. Take the geek card. It's just easier. But Doctor Strange is coming.
Yay! And by the way, Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Let's correct that, because my brain was screaming.
And that is exactly how he's going to be starting the movie. We're not getting an origin story from Doctor Strange. We're getting an actual story in Mid-Raza, or whatever it's called, with him as the Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay. So are they going to flesh that out in another movie of some sort?
No, they'll probably have some flashback stuff when, like, the character, the down-to-earth character, asks where he came from, or who is he talks about where he got to start, but it's not going to be an origin story. It's not going to be him as the Doctor getting his hands broken and having to go up into the mountains and everything. That was the original script, and they actually scrapped that script because they didn't want to do origin stories anymore. They want people to just be able to like go in and say, okay, this character's pretty cool, let's go ahead and take a look and go back into his past.
In my opinion, how they need to do origin stories is they need to do them on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
True.
Or through Netflix, Tales of Suspense or Mystery or whatever.
Is it?
No,
Mystery.
Journey into Mystery. You're right. Something like that. And yes, get the actor to actually play the part of them just for one episode of an origin story of some sort, or at least a little bit of an origin story, because then they can just be like, hey, if you've been watching S.H.I.E.L.D., our other awesome project that you should probably pay attention to.
I actually have S.H.I.E.L.D. news if you want to hear it.
I heard they got moved to a bad time slot.
What? I didn't hear that. What's going on?
Like on what was it, Tuesday at 9 o'clock on
Tuesday at 9
on Eastern time. So it'll be 7 here.
That's exactly where they were.
Maybe it's not Tuesday. Maybe it was a Thursday. I don't know.
It's probably bad because they're going up against Big Bang Theory or something like that.
Yeah,
which they will lose.
But it's 9 Eastern time, which doesn't bode well for the East Coast because everyone will be starting to like wrap up their day.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not want to watch TV that late at night or whatever.
Hey, who knows? 9 o'clock is actually usually a pretty slow slot for some things.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it doesn't hurt them enough or hurt them too much. They
Well,
almost didn't get funding for the second season, which is kind of scary.
Well, that's because the ratings weren't very good, but then people started realizing
That's because episodes 1 through 9 were meh.
Well, they were all lead up. Like, I bet you if we went back and watched them now, they'd be a little bit better because we'd know what's coming.
Maybe we should do a rewatch one of these days.
Yeah,
we should
do that. But they've added 2 new cast members to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or 2 new characters that are going to be showing up. The first
Lucy Lawless.
No. Well, she's going to be there, yeah. But I'm talking like new, like just announced.
Okay.
So we heard that they were going to bring in Mockingbird, another S.H.I.E.L.D. agent / costume superhero woman.
She probably won't have a costume for a while.
And Adrian Palicki is going to be on as Mockingbird. She's best known. She's been in a lot of TV shows, but if you know her from a movie, it'll be G.I. Joe Retaliation. She plays a character named Jay in there or something.
I watched that movie, and I
this
don't
is the second
remember.
One. This is the second.
I watched that movie.
You've seen that one?
I have seen that movie.
Okay.
I watched it, and I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. She hasn't been in much else, so
I think she was good looking.
Yeah, she was.
That's probably about all I remember.
She
from
looks
her.
like she could play the part, so that's good.
Okay.
Now, the other big one is Brian Patrick Wilson, or sorry, Wade Wilson. Brian Patrick Wade is going to be playing the Absorbing Man for an episode or two, which is super exciting. For those of you who don't know, the Absorbing Man is a villain who can basically
He can bake.
Yeah, he can basically
He can cook,
touch
fellas.
a material.
And one lady that may listen to this, fellas and lady.
Fella and ladies.
Actually,
I think we have more female viewers.
We probably do, actually.
Yeah,
Viewers?
I know.
Call them viewers again.
Oh, gosh.
Listeners.
Hi, viewers.
Corey really wants to be on TV.
I really would
if
like...
any of you guys own a TV station, he wants his own channel. Even if it's
Yes,
like
please.
middle of the night, 2 a.m. aired, he doesn't care. He just wants his own channel.
I will start
own
every
show.
commercial break with giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stay tuned.
And that would end after one episode.
Exactly. So the Absorbing Man can touch any material and basically turn his skin and his body into that material. He at times he does titanium. If he touches sand, he can sometimes if he's not controlling his power, he'll turn into sand and dissolve. At one point he turned himself into Mjolnir.
Oh,
And-
yeah, in Uru Metal.
Yeah, and then it turns out that Thor can control him when he's Uru Metal because he's technically Mjolnir with all the enchantment on it and everything.
Okay.
But if you haven't seen, or if you don't know who Brian Patrick Wade is,
Which I'm sure no one knows based off the name.
yeah, he's in Teen Wolf. He's one of the alpha wolves in Teen Wolf, the TV series. But
Is he shirtless a lot?
probably. But you may know him as Penny's boyfriend in the first season of The Big Bang Theory, Kurt.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
he's the one that beats up Leonard and Sheldon. Or
Yeah.
not beats him up, but pants him. And
Yeah, and
he's in the first 2 episodes, I think.
I
Or
think
first
it's-
episode only, actually.
Well, no, he's later on too. He does another appearance where he's the caveman, or he's at the costume party or whatever. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so he looks pretty good. He looks the part for it. So I'm super happy. We're getting a lot of news of a lot of cool characters coming in from the Marvel comics. So we're gonna get a few more actual Marvel characters this time. Which
Yay.
makes it great because last season it was kind of like, oh, okay, there's one every 5 episodes that you might be familiar with.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, Scott, what do you think of the new Stormtrooper helmet for episode 7?
There's a new Stormtrooper helmet for episode 7? I have not seen this.
You have not seen it?
I've been very busy lately.
How could you have not seen this? Let me pull it up here for you. Why don't you entertain the people while I do so?
Do. Are you done yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, are we there yet? Don't make me pull this podcast over. Stormtrooper helmet.
I can't believe you actually haven't seen this. This is crazy.
It is kind of crazy, actually.
It's and then there's another one too.
Did they hire Apple to make it?
Kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
It's kind of like super white. And
That was one of the jokes I heard was I went down to the Apple store to try and pre-order it, but they don't have it available yet. So.
Does it come with?
And then here is the kind of the snow trooper look to it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that they would change and evolve over time.
And it's been 30 years or something since
Yeah.
the end of Yavin. So there are stormtroopers. I'm sure their suits have changed and upgraded. They went to TrooperCon and got to see the presentation where they revealed the Stormtrooper helmet 5.0. Going along with the Apple theme here.
Yep. Yeah. It's revolutionary. It protects your head. Everyone else has already thought about it, but we did it first.
This time we promise that it will protect against little Ewoks. Because if you remember, they jump down on him and they just hit him on the head with stone tools and they collapse.
Yeah.
Because those helmets are made out of plastic.
That was
apparently.
the worst part of that whole movie. I know you loved them as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And they were your favorite characters.
Yeah, but they're terrible.
I wish they would have made them actual cannibals.
Like they are
Like
in
like they are in the mythology
Yeah.
and in the lore.
which
I wish they would have shown them eating stormtroopers, like literally tearing open their suits and just nom 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 bear claws. Nom, 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 nom.
That's good. Because bear claws. Because they're bears. I get it.
They're little tiny bears.
They're little tiny bears.
Tiny man.
There was also a lot of rumors going around from Star Wars.
That would not make them cannibals.
That's true.
They
that
would
would
have
just
to
make
eat
them
each
carnivore.
other.
Yeah,
they would just be carnivorous.
Mm-hmm. Now, if that
I'm
one,
gonna bring that up every time anyone says it. I'm gonna be like, that doesn't make him a cannibal.
So if that one Ewok that died, like there was only one Ewok that actually died in that series, if he was starting to be devoured by the other Ewoks, that would be your perfect situation.
Cannibals. Or like them roasting other Ewoks from other tribes before they're gonna cook, Leia and Luke and stuff. Which is what that scene's all about. They're about to eat them for dinner, and they kind of downplay it, of course. It was the 70s.
It seems really weird that they would, because it's a series that, it's not technically made for kids, but yet...
Lucas does some funny stuff.
Jar Jar.
Oh, no, I said funny stuff. I didn't say... And annoying stuff. But I didn't say annoying stuff. I said funny stuff. But yeah, Jar Jar. All the freaking... Han shot first. Oh, no, let's change it. So Greedo shot first. No, that never happened. Greedo didn't shoot. Han's a smuggler. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
He just shot him.
It's fine.
It's like, whatever.
You can do that.
Then he gave money to clean it up. He milked his cash cow and gave him some quarters.
That's just such a horror.
Stop
bringing up the cash cow.
He walks off the scene.
Here you go, Jabba. Here's some Republic credits.
Some Republic quarters.
It's not a cash cow. It's a credit cow.
Which one? What does it look like compared to the debit cow?
Bigger but higher interest rates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It kicks you more often.
There's a lot of rumors that came out for Star Wars Episode 7. A lot of them were just stupid rumors that had no truth to them. One of them that we're gonna talk about a little bit here, mostly because I think it's pretty safe to say who the villain is for the 7th movie. It's the Sith.
Yeah, okay.
They specifically cite the Inquisitors, which has been in the extended universe, and they're bringing them back as a new imagining of them because they got rid of all the extended universe stuff. For now, they said no, that none of that's continuity. It's just the base movies and maybe the Clone Wars, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I don't like to play up rumors too much. I know we do like some news stuff that may be rumor, may not, and hopefully we correct ourselves later.
Yeah.
If we don't, please correct for us.
Yeah, send us an email and tell us what we did wrong.
Yeah.
So what is the most popular or the most sought after comic, Scott?
Generally it's something like Spider-Man #1, Batman #1. It's usually a #1 of some sort, and the most popular, or at least the one that's fetched most money as far as I know, has been Action Comics #1.
And what's the most you've heard of for Action Comics #1?
I think it was like $1 million.
$1 million?
It was 900,000 or 950,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know there was one sold as part of Nicolas Cage's collection that when he went bankrupt.
I think that one went for like $500,000 or something like that.
Yeah, so
it kind of depends on the grade. Well,
grade like A, B, C, D.
Actually, they do a rating system of 1 through 10, based on how good quality the pages are, any rips, tears, seam.
And back then
problems.
they didn't have the acid-free paper that they do it on now, so that all you had to do was pretty much touch the page, and the oil from your fingers would end up eating into the page after years and years and years. Yeah. And so that's why there's a lot of like joking on TV shows and stuff about mint condition, don't take it out of the box, don't take it out of the bag, because when they're old like that, they're made from newsprint because it was cheap, it was easy, but it was like it's a rip super easy. The ink on it faded really fast. It was really really hard to take care of and last for a long time. It kind of deteriorates really fast.
There's very few comics out there, at least for Action Comics, that are mint condition. I think I'm not even sure if there is an Action comic out there that's mint condition.
Not unless it was bought like off the street
and somebody kept it in like
put it in a
safe,
like, hermetically sealed container of some sort.
Well, a 9 quality out of 10.
Pretty damn good.
Really good. It went up on eBay, and it reached $1.75 million. Wow! Before the auction ended, So somebody out there is a proud owner of the most expensive comic
Ever.
ever. Not only is this amazing, but I was looking at the picture of the Action Comics #1, and it has the price on there for the original price. Do you know what the original price was?
They were 10 cents.
10 cents. And that comic sold for $1 million. Now, we're not saying go out and rush out and buy a bunch of comics and hope that you can earn $1 million later.
Because as we discussed 2 episodes ago, was it 2 episodes ago? 3 episodes.
Last episode.
Last episode, actually. As we discussed, so back when Action Comics just started, #1, they produced like maybe 5,000, maybe 10,000. Now they produce like 500,000.
Yeah.
And they constantly reprint them. So even if you get the originals, chances are they're not going to be worth anything at all, ever.
The most you can get out of something these days is like $10 if it's a major thing, or if somebody signs it or something like that.
Yeah, and not rare as in can't find, but like rare as in no one wants to sell them because they want to keep a hold of them.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I have one last little bit of news story that involves the Marvel Universe.
All right.
For a long time, we've had the character Venom. Everybody knows Venom.
Yep. Alien symbiote.
Yep.
Brought home on the space shuttle with Flash Thompson?
Yes.
Flash Thompson?
Yep.
The astronaut?
I think well,
no.
John Jameson.
Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson's son, who ended up becoming the Man-Wolf, by the way.
Interesting. He goes from being Venom to Man-Wolf.
Well, he was never the Venom.
Oh, that's right. Because it went on Spider-Man for a little while.
Yeah, it was on Spider-Man first.
Right.
So,
and we're not talking movies. This is comic canon, not movie canon. And movie
exactly.
canon
movie canon, it's from a meteorite. Yeah. But the origins for Venom have always been shrouded in a mystery, where like he's just kind of a weird symbiote traveling through space.
Well, you should take that back. They have an origin.
Really?
As what I mean is, his origin is he's from space.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's not an expanded origin.
Oh, okay. So, in Guardians of the Galaxy, they've added Venom as one of the Guardians,
which is a great series right now. By the way,
he does great work in. Or the Flash Thompson as Venom is really fun in it too.
Flash Thompson has no legs.
Yeah. So the Venom symbiote is the only thing that can keep him moving.
Yep.
Well, they're going to end up finding out where the symbiote home world is and going there. So we get to see the origins of the symbiote.
And apparently, and this is just what I've gleaned from reading the comics, the symbiotes are highly prized items, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they can become these suits that are super powerful, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to learn to try and control them yourself.
Yeah, which apparently is not that uncommon out in space. On Earth, yeah, it's a pain in the butt, and apparently Flash Thompson is the only one that's able to do it.
I think they keep the Venom symbiote drugged.
Probably.
Actually.
They probably do.
They keep him in control. And that's part of the whole Venom with Flash Thompson is Flash Thompson can only have the suit on for so long before it starts to corrupt him, and then he has to take it off, so he can't walk all the time.
Yeah, because he's running through some alien bazaar somewhere, and someone mentions something like, that's a such and such symbiote, and as he runs by,
and then the Avengers show up,
and
say, you got to come home, and so they get him onto the ship, and then they turn out to be Skrulls who are trying to get the symbiote for themselves. It's a good comic, people. Go really read Guardians of the Galaxy. You'll love it.
Not just because the movie's fantastic, which it is.
Yeah, you should read it because the movie is fantastic too.
And you should go see the movie twice.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to get into Salt Lake Comic-Con guests. There are a lot of them that were announced because we're getting down to the wire. 2 weeks away.
Yep, there will be even more.
So we're going to start out with the most recent one that I heard. Veronica Taylor is coming to Salt Lake Comic-Con. She's the voice of Ash Ketchum in Pokemon. For the past, however long, the American version, not the...
Yeah, the Funimation dubbed.
Tyler Kirkham, one of your favorite artists.
One of my favorite artists. He's
coming back.
He's a Utah native.
Yep.
He's drawn a whole bunch of cover art for a bunch of different comics and had his own comic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
He did cover art for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
At one point, too. Derek Hunter is also a Utah homebrew. He's one of the artists for the Adventure Time series.
Okay.
And I think he does some work on Bravest Warriors, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
He is also one of the old members of the Geek Show podcast. If you listen to them at all, you might know who he is. Colin Baker is coming, the 6th Doctor Who. and Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor Who.
Ooh, fun.
So we get 2 doctors in one con. 2 doctors, 1 con.
That's better than 0 for last year. Last year
That's
had no
true.
doctors, so.
Tom Cook is coming, who directed and animated a lot of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like Scooby-Doo, He-Man, all of those classic ones that reuse the same background over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Steve Argyle is a magic artist, one of my favorite.
So he's a magician.
Yes, he's a magic artist. No, he's an artist for the card game Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, makes more sense.
Alrighty. The Odyssey Dance Theater is going to be making an appearance. They do the Thriller show at the Weber State University every year. I enjoy them. I think they do some really good dancing, and they do some really good sketches.
I'm just imitating the Mario jumping sound.
A lot of artists and writers of the Dragonlance series, which is a D&D world, they're coming, and Dragonlance is having one of their like big milestone anniversaries during that time too. So I can't remember exactly how much, but they have a lot of people coming from there. Studio C is a Utah comedy group.
Yep, they got some funny stuff on YouTube.
They'll be making their appearance. The surprise birthday party. Yeah. Hudson Leak. She was
obvious joke is obvious.
Yes, Leak.
Leak.
She was Callisto from Xena.
Yep.
One of the villains in there, I guess.
Yep, she was pretty.
Her and Kevin Sorbo can have a little.
I don't know if she's pretty anymore, but she was.
Well, she looked pretty. Pretty. Yep. Larry Thomas is coming back. He's the Soup Nazi, for those of you who don't know who he is.
Oh.
He was at FanX last April. Yeah, it's a little... Some of these are kind of weird. We've had a couple I Dream of Jeannie ones and stuff that's kind of just like, that's not for us, but it's pop culture.
I can see I Dream of Jeannie is at least kind of fantastical.
Yeah.
Soup Nazi is just a dick.
I don't know if he's probably been in other stuff. It's just what I know him from the most.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, that's pretty much what he's known for.
Yeah, he'll always be the Soup Nazi. One of my favorite artists, Chad Hardin, the artist of the Harley Quinn comic book, is coming.
Another fantastic comic series that if you're not reading, you need to pick
Oh
up.
yeah, the series is amazing and lighthearted and perfect. And then they'll also have something very cool that hasn't happened at Salt Lake Comic Con before, mostly because we've only had 2 showings up to this point. But Marvel Entertainment is going to have a con-exclusive cover for The Death of Wolverine.
I'm probably going to have to get it.
Me too. Even if it's going to be like $5, I'll have to pick it up. In fact, it might be more than $5.
It'll probably run out really quick too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of exciting news. I saw another one as I was getting ready for this to go. I didn't quite look at it.
Yeah.
But I just saw a lot of cool names being shouted out, and plus there's a bunch of names that we haven't told you guys about yet because that was before we started the podcast, which we'll have to go over those sometime. All right, Scott, let's get into trailers.
There wasn't too much this week. Not a huge amount being announced.
Yeah, it's kind of towards the end of the year. So
I guess there's always trailers, but we kind of maybe stick with the geekier ones, maybe more fantasy-based, sci-fi, that kind of stuff. One that I've seen twice, and you've seen, or I've seen 3 times now. You've seen twice the Into the Woods trailer. Yeah. It's at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, at least around where we're seeing them, a couple theaters. And it's basically a big homage to all the Grimm fairy tales.
Yeah, or at least 3 of them
so far that we know of. You've got I can only think of Tangled. What's it called? What's it really?
Rapunzel.
That's right.
Okay.
So you got Rapunzel. You've got Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Cinderella.
So maybe there's more than 3.
There is more than 3.
But it's kind of just like a live action version of all those.
And it looks really cool. It kind of looks like a good anthology series that could happen.
You've got Anna Kendrick. I think she's
in
Red
Pitch
Riding
Perfect.
Hood.
No, I think she's Cinderella, actually.
Maybe.
I don't know. You've got Emily Blunt in there.
Blunt's in it.
Meryl Streep is a witch, which she looks crazy and like she's a witch.
Makes sense. She's getting old, so that's kind of the role she's playing.
Chris Pine is playing Prince Charming.
Newkirk.
Yep, Newkirk is playing Prince Charming.
Johnny Depp. He's playing the giant,
which is really cool. I think that Johnny Depp can play that role really well.
He can play any role. I mean,
that's true.
I'm sorry. If you hate him, whatever. He's a great actor.
He is a really good actor.
I mean, he picks his roles up, and you kind of get just engrossed with his performance. So that was Into the Woods. It looks fun. Hopefully, it's not just terrible, like Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh my gosh! Which, by the way, going to be a second Snow White and the Huntsman.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
But it's not going to have Kristen Stewart in it. So that's
good,
some good
because she has as much acting chops as a brick.
As Megan Fox.
I mean, you could really just replace her with a brick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the holes in it.
And the brick would win an Academy Award.
It's got the holes in it like her open mouth. Her open mouth like gap.
Yeah.
Just stare. Oh, she's such a terrible actress. She has zero range of emotion.
Yep.
I've got more range of emotion, and I'm just talking on a podcast.
Exactly.
I mean,
you have more emotion about her not having any emotion.
I'll go put on a wig and put I don't know what, grapefruit in my bra.
I don't think she's a grapefruit. Maybe like an apple.
I'll put an apple in front of each.
One apple.
One apple right in the center of my shirt, and I'll walk around and I will win an Emmy versus Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, an Emmy's not hard to win, Scott.
I would win 12 Emmys and an Academy Award.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Before she ever even
Just
gets
drop the Emmys
before she
and
even
then
gets nominated for one. She's such a terrible
she
actress.
Is so awful.
Now should I tell you my true feelings on her?
Yeah, why don't you tell us what you really feel?
What I really think.
What's next?
We saw Night at the Museum 3.
A lot of people don't like the Night at the Museum franchise, or at least they're kind of getting sick of it.
I don't know why. We haven't had one for like 6 years.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I like it.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think people don't like Ben Stiller.
That's true. Ben Stiller kind of everybody's fuckered out.
But you don't. Yeah, see what you did there. But you don't go to see Ben Stiller. You go for everything else.
Yep.
Robin Williams is in it.
Yep.
Before he died.
Probably one of his final performances.
It was in post-production when he passed away. And you've got all these other different characters from history. Pharaohs and cavemen and Attila the Hun.
This one's gonna have Lancelot in it too.
Yeah.
Because they go to Britain.
They go to the British Museum.
Ben Kingsley is also going to be in this one.
He's a pharaoh.
As like the pharaoh, the pharaoh from the first one's dad.
Yeah. And it looks like a ton of fun. And the trailer was great, and me and you were just kind of laughing and enjoying it and having a good old time watching all the cool stuff come to life that's in the museum.
Which, has always been kind of...
And then they ruined it. And then they ruined the trailer, at least. I'm sure the whole movie won't be ruined, but they ruined the trailer for me when they had pea humor. The monkey pees on someone.
Yeah.
It's like,
don't really
guys?
care about that.
Everything else was great. It was funny. Had all kinds of cool action. We were just like, yes, sweet, movie looks great.
Cool. And
the monkey's peeing on someone.
Yeah,
great. Thanks, whoever made this movie, Paramount or whatever. You just ruined it for me. You just ruined the trailer for me. I hope they never show that again in trailers, because then I'll get re-excited, and then I'll see it in the movie and be like, no. I am not one to say that I am above that kind of humor.
No, you've made plenty of poop jokes.
I have made plenty of poop jokes
tonight.
And fart jokes. And tonight before the podcast. You're right. However, I don't know. It just kind of takes out. You got this great movie that's funny, and they're doing all this funny stuff.
Yeah.
And then you throw that in, and it's like, when they throw that kind of humor in, and it's not the entire movie. If the entire movie is all that humor, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when it's...
Who would want to see a movie like that? I'm sorry. I will consider myself above. I mean, I laugh at poop humor. Oh my gosh. You're right. Never mind.
The hero ones, half the stuff that the Wayans brothers do.
That's true.
I mean, they're out there. People love them. Some people do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you do. I don't.
Email us and tell us why you like poop humor.
Yeah.
Do you have a gynecological fetish?
Yeah. Ooh. Mr. Wayans brothers, if you can email us and tell us why you think that's funny.
Them specifically. Like they're going to. Okay.
I mean, I watch Family Guy, and they do all kinds of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the show is lowbrow like that.
Oh yeah,
it's always been that way.
Yeah.
And
you're prepared for it.
And here you've got a trailer where it's like some funny comedy, and it's a little slapstick. That's fine. I don't slapstick doesn't. That's classic comedy from like the ancient times. Even cavemen hit each other over the head with stones, and they were like,
you do a good caveman. Anyway,
but then they ruined it with pea humor.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was a trailer. Go watch it.
Right. You'll like it.
You'll like it. Tell the pea humor.
Well, unless you don't like.
At least it's at the very end.
That's true. Just shut it off after you see the night at the museum. Just shut it off.
Yeah.
What about the final one?
The last one we saw, which kind of a surprise to both of us.
Yeah, I wasn't.
As we're looking through trailers and watching them before the podcast, we see one that's got Daniel Radcliffe in it.
The Harry Potter.
Yeah, the Harry Potter. And he'll always be Harry Potter no matter how many times he gets naked with horses on stages. I'm sorry. He will never be anything but Harry Potter.
You're going to be forced to it the rest of your life.
Yep. Just
welcome. Leonard Nimoy should send you a card that says, "Welcome to the life of a fandom."
Yep. Just like, what's his name that plays the guy in Wilfred and...
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. He's going to be Frodo Baggins.
I won't take a geek card because you corrected yourself mid-sentence. Frodo.
He's got Bilbo's DNA in him.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Stop making that face. Ooh. That's the this joke could go horribly wrong face. I'm not making a joke. I'm just saying Bilbo is his dad or his uncle or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's of the Baggins clan.
Yeah.
Anyways, the movie's
Frodo's actually the son of Drogo. No, I'm serious. In the book, he's the son of his dad's name is Drogo.
He's the stallion that'll mount the world.
Apparently,
just like off Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
The movie's called Horns.
I watched this, and at first I was kind of like, oh, this is a lovey-dovey story, whatever. Oh, she's dead? It's a murder story?
So it starts off, and it's like this love, like you said, it's this love thing between him and her, and... Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Are you gonna... you did
it. At least once a podcast.
Every podcast.
Yeah.
It's a love story, and she's like, all I'll ever need is for you to love me, and then it's got all this romantic music, and me and Cory both kind of look at each other and go, what?
I'm not sure how you feel about this.
Great.
Why is it called Horns?
Wait.
Wait.
And then the next scene, he's walking out of his house, and there's people protesting and screaming at him and
telling me he's going to hell for killing his
wife, and he's like, I loved her, why would I kill her,
Yeah.
And then it goes into this sappy, like, he's drunk all the time, which is weird to see young Harry Potter drunk, because he still looks like a little kid.
Yeah, he kind of does.
And no matter how much of a beard he tries to grow, and he tries really hard.
He really tries.
He tries really hard.
Yeah, it's just like a little scruff under his neck.
But he's only like 60% there.
But then he wakes up one morning and finds that he's growing horns out of his head.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No one knows why. And then all of a sudden it turns into a comedy.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's some funny stuff in that trailer.
Everybody who he comes into contact with starts acting completely amoral, and they just start acting nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It's super crazy. And there's one point where some interviewers are trying to get him to... Sorry, it's actually really funny. They're trying to get answers out of him. And he's like, well, I'll tell you what. You two beat each other up, and the winner gets to have an exclusive interview with me. And like not 1 second afterwards, the African-American reporter smacks the girl reporter with his microphone and starts beating her up.
Yeah. And then the big brawl fight starts up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It looked really good. I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, so I'm interested. It ends with the word, yeah, those are horns on my head.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where we're clicking through YouTube and it's got all the suggestions at the end, and we're both like, horns?
Is that?
Weird.
That is strange.
Okay, kind of looks like a fantasy thing, maybe.
All right, click.
Oh, romance. Oh, kind of a murder mystery. Oh, he's a sappy. He's a sappy sap. He's a nerf herder.
Nerf herder.
That's my favorite.
Oh, he's
favorite new insult.
Well, good. Keep using it. It's better than some of the other insults out there.
Yeah, true. And then it becomes this sort of comedic. I don't know.
Weird.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see it. Go take a look. It's called Horns.
I honestly, I think it's gonna be kind of popular. It might win a few awards. It might
Probably because
it seems kind of campy, to be honest.
it's almost kind of like an indie movie sort of, but a well produced one. It looked like.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into our review this week. We didn't actually go out to see a movie on Sunday.
We were going to go see Expendables 3.
Yeah, but
then we decided
happened.
not to.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, not super interested in it, really. It's one of those movies where
we'll watch it when it comes out.
I'd rather
DVD.
Redbox it.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay $1 for it.
But last Tuesday, Assault on Arkham, the latest DC animated movie, came out. Well, it's called Batman Assault on Arkham.
Yep.
Sorry.
You have to put that in there. It is a Batman movie.
Although it's not.
Right.
It is not.
It's like
it is
30% Batman.
It is. I heard somebody's review saying, look, Marvel or Sony, if you want to make a Sinister Six movie, make it like this one, because this is a Suicide Squad movie that Batman just happens to show up halfway through them arguing with each other and beat the crap out of them, but then they kind of take him out and everything like that. It's a really interesting movie. Classic DC animation. They've been getting this more American anime style to them lately,
which I'm liking more and more.
Yeah.
When I first saw it with
it's a nice combo.
Justice League Flashpoint, or I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Justice League Flashpoint. When I first saw it with that, I was kind of taken aback by it because the animation was a little strange.
It wasn't what we were used to at all.
Yeah, it was totally different than, Batman the animated series animation,
exactly.
Or the Superman animated series,
or
which
Justice
is my favorite animated. And Justice League, which is my favorite type of animation, by the way, is Justice League Unlimited.
I like that. I like that style. But I've been liking this more and more. It stars I guess the biggest star would be Deadshot is the main character technically in this. Floyd Lawton.
Yeah.
And they don't really play up that he's the star of it until probably about 30 minutes in, because they do their opening gathering the team thing.
You're wrong. The biggest star in this is Kevin Conroy's Batman. He's reprising his role as
That's true.
As Batman.
That's true, and he does an amazing job as usual.
Because it's either him or the other guy, the new guy. I just forgot
Jason
his name.
O'Mara.
Jason O'Mara, yeah. From
Life on Mars.
Life on Mars, and he was
Terra Nova.
He was also in Terra Nova. He's the detective or whatever. He's actually a pretty good Batman.
I don't think he was a detective in Terra Nova.
Detective.
There's a detective in Terra Nova. I've never seen it.
You never watched it because all you heard was, "Oh, they use Nerf guns for
no." It looked stupid.
weapons.
I'm sorry. It just looked stupid.
I had a lot of fun with it. Actually.
Okay, well, you'll have to show it to me, and I'll try and.
Anyways, those are the two good Batmans.
Yeah, and it starts out with him confronting the Riddler because the Joker's planted a dirty bomb somewhere in Gotham, and he needs to find out where. And
the Riddler, played by Matthew Gray Gubler. He plays Spencer Reed from Criminal Minds. That's probably where everyone knows him from. He's the smart guy that solves everything.
And he did pretty good with his Riddler role.
Yeah.
Riddler role.
He did pretty good. Sounded like it.
Yeah.
Deadshot's played by Neil McDonough. He's usually like the albino in everything. He was in Captain America, not the Winter Soldier, but the first one.
He was in
Says he was in it.
As what?
First Avenger, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know as what.
Okay. Anyway, but he did pretty good. I thought that Deadshot was actually a really cool character in this. He wasn't just, this guy can shoot really well.
He was a lucky character.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was, because he got to have a little scene there, which was a way adult scene, surprisingly.
So, in the past, DC animated has been kind of kid gloves.
Yeah, they
don't
kind
show
of been,
any kind of like blood when people get shot or stabbed or hit with a batarang in the shoulder. It gets stuck in them. It's gonna cause some blood.
Yeah, I think that switched over with either Flashpoint or Justice League War. They switched over. They started showing blood a little bit more as they progressed, but I think they made like the full switch over to PG-13 at Justice League War or The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, it went from PG to PG-13.
Yeah.
So it's less kid oriented and less child friendly and more teenager young adult friendly.
Yep.
And I mean, I like that.
Yeah, I think it's
more
great.
real to me.
Yeah, they swear, they have
get pissed at each
innuendo,
other, they fight.
and sometimes you get to see cartoon butt, apparently.
And cartoon side boob.
Yeah,
there's
because
a lot of that in this
Harley
one.
Quinn is one of the other major stars in this movie, and she ends up in Floyd Lawton's bed.
Yep.
When they're waiting to go to their mission, and it's a really interesting scene.
Yeah, it's not like pornography. Or
No,
even,
they don't.
It's not even like Showtime.
Yeah,
They
they don't show any.
It's just like
movement. They kiss, and then they kiss more, and
you see her topless from the back.
Yeah,
type of deal.
And then they throw each other
which-
around the room a little bit, like happens, and make out.
And
a
so,
little bit.
which is was actually very shocking for both of us.
Yeah, we were like, what?
Neither of us have ever seen any kind of boobs ever, and we were like, oh my gosh, cartoons. Did not think I was going to go there.
No, I didn't think you were going to go there, especially since I have a wife and I've never seen her.
We've only cuddled. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, she doesn't even let me wrap my arm around her. It's kind of disturbing.
Which was very shocking. It kind of happened, and me and Cory both were like, did that just really happen?
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
All right, then.
Okay. They're real characters with real, human emotions and stuff.
There was a couple scenes where you got to see
The other lady, Killer Frost, that was on the team. She's in a body bag, and she's naked.
Yeah, she's naked in the body bag.
Yeah. And she gets out and fights a bunch of people naked. I mean, you don't see anything, obviously.
Yeah,
but
like they're
we
very
keep saying
strategic.
this like it's a porno.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
reviewing a porno.
It's actually, I think the closest thing that I could say it is a betrayal story.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's a group of criminals who are forced to work together, and they're all trying to betray each other so that they can survive through this ordeal. Because if they don't do what Amanda Waller wants, the runner of the Suicide Squad, she pushes a little button in their head and blows it to smithereens.
Yep. She implants bombs in all their necks and pop goes the weasel.
Yep. The Joker's in it.
Yep.
Not played by Mark Hamill.
No, played
Troy
by
Baker.
Troy
is his name.
Baker. Mm-hmm.
And he played the Joker in the Arkham Origins game.
Actually, really good Joker.
Yeah.
Mark
Pretty
Hamill
close.
has a pretty close clone of his voice, at least.
Yeah, and there's a couple times where you can tell that it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the best line in the entire movie, in my opinion.
Which is?
"I'm here, bitches."
Yeah, yep, he says that.
Yeah. Or when he goes to shoot what he thinks is Batman, and then it turns out it's one of the Suicide Squad in Batman's costume, and his head blows off without him firing, and he looks at the gun and he goes, "Best gun ever." It's really good Joker moments. You get to see a little bit of that darker Joker that everybody's come to love.
Yeah, the Harley beating murderous Joker, not goofy Joker from the Batman animated series that was like, just let him make everyone laugh.
That's
whatever.
fine. Yeah, whatever.
And this one, he's like, I'm gonna set off a dirty bomb. Which, if you don't know what a dirty bomb is a bunch of radiation and stuff, and it spreads it over a big area, and it kills people very slowly.
Yeah,
with
and
radiation
very
poisoning.
painfully.
Yeah.
Yep. And him and Deadshot have a very painful-looking fight scene at the end.
Yes.
Full of knives and a hook on a chain. That Joker. Okay, so I've come to the conclusion that the Joker, over the years of fighting the Batman, has trained himself with a bunch of cruel weaponry that he knows how to use very well.
He has to.
Yeah,
The first time he fought Batman, he got his butt kicked.
Yeah,
because
so he's
Batman's
got
just
to
so good
pick
at
up
it.
his game, you know.
Yeah.
So it's become we're seeing a trend of a little bit less of the Joker who just plots and plots and plots, and when he gets captured, he's like, "Oh, by the way, I have that over there." We still see that, but we get a Joker that actually can go toe to toe with Batman for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's the best at fighting or the strongest. He's a really scrawny guy.
Yeah, he's usually not very good at fighting. Like in the Injustice video game, he's not really a good melee fighter. He's a lot of throws gadgets and little bombs and all kinds of
pie.
crazy stuff. Yeah, an exploding pie.
Yep. But all in all, I would give the movie a solid 4 out of 5 geek cards.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I don't think it's a perfect movie.
Our reviews are rarely different.
Yeah,
we need another person in here that's like, I hated it.
Yeah, well, we try, but she decides not to.
She didn't watch it though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that there were times when I was watching the mouth movements, and as the style goes more towards the anime, the worry about making the mouth match up with the sounds gets a little bit less, and it kind of bugs me because I look at it and I go, I can't not look at their mouth right now and see that they're just barely moving it, and it's making
that's less
loud sounds. Yeah. So that's why I give it 4 out of 5. I don't think it's quite the perfect movie. Like Guardians could be quite almost like near 99% perfect.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Avengers.
But it's up there.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Harley Quinn, the girl that they got to voice Harley Quinn, did an amazing job.
Perfect.
Perfect Harley Quinn. Yep. Better than the original Harley Quinn.
And honestly, she's one. I would say that she's the other main character in the movie. Yep. The main characters are Deadshot and Harley Quinn, and then the rest of them are just side characters.
You get to see Harley Quinn try to kill the Joker, which is great.
Which it turns out really, really funny. Just how like much she wants to kill him right now.
Yeah, she's very, very angry because I mean he beats her. He beats her up. He treats her like
leaves
garbage.
Her to die.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah,
and you get to kind of see her revenge mode, basically.
Which is it, and it honestly, go out and red box it if nothing else. You can.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really good. So
I mean, I would prefer to say buy it.
Yeah.
And support DC animated.
True.
They were going to go under. A year ago or 2 years ago, there were plans and talks of getting rid of them. Cut it out. Cut it completely out because they didn't have the budget for it, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're all making a ton more movies.
Yeah, I think they re-evaluated and they went with this more adult audience, thinking, "Oh, you know what? We don't have to worry about the kids in the audience. You know, we can worry about the teenagers who actually like to watch this stuff.
Go make your Teen Titans cartoon show for kids.
Teen Titans
go make like Batman Brave and the Bold or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Which I still hear is actually a pretty good, funny show for adults.
Yeah, the new Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah,
go make stuff like that. That's fine.
Yeah, and then give us that and like that,
and give us some good stuff. You know. All right, that we can perfectly go into our topic of the week. This week, we are talking about animated versus live action movies, and the pros and cons of each, and not just animated in the traditional sense.
Not necessarily a versus, maybe just animated or live action, the differences, you know, what's good about them, what's bad about them, that kind of stuff.
So we'll start out with traditional animation. What's good about them is
2D.
Yep,
flat animation.
Cartoon, basically cartoon animation. The good about them is that they're cheap. They're cheaper than any of the other formats,
especially
out there.
Now that they can do them digitally. They don't have to draw each scene hand by hand.
Yeah, they can draw a character and have them move. Like they can digitally move the arm and everything like that. Yep. And they do really good work. Princess and the Frog, I think, was the last major animated release.
I don't think Disney's going to do any more.
I think they're moving on to CG animation.
And it'll all be CG because with the success of Pixar and stuff, it'll all be computer generated. We shouldn't even say CG because technically 2D animated is computer generated right now. Anyways, the artists draw on tablets and stuff, and they don't draw a picture on paper and scan it into the computer.
Yeah,
they actually draw on a tablet, so it comes up in the computer, or they draw.
So what do we call it?
Like that. Well, it's 3D animation.
3D animation,
where the characters look 3D. Mm-hmm. They're still CG, of course, but they're not flat.
Yeah.
So
2D is really good in the fact that you can make a movie for less money. You can do more special effects for less money because you're not spending $10,000 on a prop replica of a dragon. You're just drawing a dragon for like maybe $500 or something like that.
I'm not sure how much the money and stuff is.
Exactly.
But it is definitely a lot cheaper than traditional movie making.
You don't have to pay actors as much because you're just doing voice acting. And you can get actors who may not look the part but can actually
Have the sound.
Yeah, they sound for the part. Because Kevin Conroy, I don't know if you ever looked at Kevin Conroy.
He doesn't look like Batman.
He does not look like Batman at all. He's like a scrawny.
Tim Daly doesn't even really look like Superman.
Yeah, I mean, you've got many.
Michael Rosenbaum looks like the Flash. He definitely could play the Flash.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you there.
Yeah,
but there's all these characters that you're like, yeah, you probably wouldn't be a good Green Lantern in real life, but at least your voice is good for Green Lantern.
Yeah, exactly.
Aha! I got you.
You didn't mention
it's
his
recorded.
name.
It's saved.
It's saved forever. Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of Jon Stewart, but now that you said Nathan Fillion, he does have the perfect Hal Jordan.
It's true.
Green Lantern voice. Yep. There's none other that have ever come close that I can see as Green Lantern.
And another good thing about 2D animation, and I would say 3D animation too, is you can get closer to the source material with the costumes and everything and actually have it look good. You know, you don't have to worry about computer generating Cyborg's eye.
Or have it be, so in traditional movies when they try to like put on a costume for one character, Flash, for example.
Yeah.
In the comics, he's got a skin tight, perfect, like super thin, just red, pure red suit.
I'm looking at it right now, and it is you can see every single muscle on that guy's body.
But in TV, you can't do that in real life. If you had a skin tight suit, you couldn't move.
Yeah, exactly.
What does the Flash need to do? He needs to move.
Exactly.
You know, and so you have to modify it and try to keep as much of it as possible. Things like that.
But you don't have to worry about any of that when you're not dealing with a human character. You don't have to worry about safety issues on set either. If you're making a movie, you don't have to like have a stunt double or anything like that. It's all the same person. You know, all you have to worry about is how good your voice actors can go.
Well, the script can be written way outside, and all the voice actors have to do is walk in the studio. Spend a day. That's it. That's usually all they spend is a day, maybe two at the most, recording their lines. Sometimes with each other to kind of bounce off.
Hey, it's Krusty the Clown. How you doing? You know, like the old Simpsons thing where he comes in and he does his lines in 30 seconds and then leaves.
Yeah, and they don't have to pay him as much.
Yeah.
I mean, they still pay him a decent amount, but they don't have to pay him as much as being on screen and on set for days and days at a time trying to film just an episode.
Cutting down that money there. The problem with traditional 2D animation is there's this huge stigma around it that it's for kids only.
Yeah, cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons.
You won't ever see a 2D animation for adults. You won't. Well, I mean, you'll see them, but won't see.
It's called anime.
It's called Archer.
Yeah, Archer and anime, Family Guy.
But you'll never see like a full-length feature movie that's aimed at adults.
True. They're even in the 3D CGI realm, it's still kind of viewed as a child's movie or a younger generation movie.
I think the 3D animated though is a little bit less so because people go and see that no matter what because it looks good.
But here's how I'm gonna segue into the traditionals. Most of the traditional movies nowadays are being CGI'd.
That's true. There's a lot of
there's actors in front of a green screen wearing a suit with little ping pong balls that light up all over it.
Andy Serkis, thank you.
Yep. And what's the brother of the director of Guardians of the Galaxy? He did Rocket Raccoon's movements.
Oh, he did? Not James Gunn.
Yeah, the other Gunn.
Jed Gunn.
Jed Gunn.
I don't know either. Groot Gun.
But look at
oh my gosh, a Groot Gun.
it just yells at you. I'm Groot. It shoots flowers.
Pew!
But look at Guardians of the Galaxy. That world that they're on is mostly CGI.
Mostly CG.
All the worlds, the space shots, inside, very few things are actual like props.
Yeah. George Lucas did hardly any set work for the prequels.
The prequels,
yeah, it was all green screen pretty much.
So there's that, which a lot of traditional are being CGI'd, and I would not put it past them to start CGIing actors.
I would agree with you.
And they already do in action scenes. Look at like Man of Steel when Superman's flying around beating stuff up. It's all CGI.
You don't know that it's
hard
not
to
Superman.
tell.
Yeah,
It's getting harder and harder to tell.
And technology is going to continue growing, and soon enough we'll have full on. It'll just be the actors doing voice work, and then they'll just get CGI movements.
Yeah,
and
because as far as cost goes, from what I've read and from what I've seen, not Costco, cost goes.
Yes,
it's the most expensive movies to make are traditional practical props, what they call them, practical effects, with paid actors.
Yeah.
Then it goes to actors in front of a green screen, CGI movies, 2D animation.
Yep, or 3D movies.
3D, yeah.
Yeah, because,
3D animation, CGI, and then 2D.
Yeah.
I mean, that was more of a technicality. We can still call it 2D and CGI. Yeah. That's fine. People know what we're talking about.
Well, after that discussion, yeah.
No, I just think it's funny to actually think about that. It's all computer generated now.
Yeah.
Even most of traditional stuff.
So I just a quick derailing here. My mind just totally clicked back in place and said, "Oh right, we're recording a podcast." I just felt like I was talking to you for a second there, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it makes it natural.
You ruined it.
I'm just like it was just like a click in my head that I was like, "Holy crap! Where am I?"
You just crushed my dreams, Corey.
I'm sorry. I am Groot.
All I could see was your microphone in front of you, and I thought it was just for looks. And now I'm ruined. Now I know we're recording and it's ruined.
I've peeked behind the curtain.
You've broken the fourth wall.
Don't break the fourth wall, man.
Or would it be the third wall since we're on TV? What are the other? What are the walls?
So the fourth wall is the invisible wall that you're watching through. So the other three walls would be the other three walls that you can see.
We broke the second wall.
We broke the sound wall.
We broke the sound wall. But traditional movies, which is so back to Star Wars. Yeah. Lucas did mostly CGI work on the prequels, which is something awesome that J.J. Abrams is doing. He's doing pretty much all practical effects for his Star Wars movies.
I think practical effects is a nice way to go.
I think it's awesome.
Mostly because we can do it now.
Well, and it looks real. Back in the 70s and 80s, practical effects looked cheap and crappy and weird.
Yeah, like the doors opening on the Enterprise with people just pulling the doors,
Yeah, and they had to pull them at exactly the right speed and stuff. Yeah. But nowadays we can build that kind of stuff. We can build real doors that when you come into it, they open, automatically. Or at least someone's there with a clicker, click, opens, and they walk through, click, closes.
Right.
Like even as simple as that, or a little switch or something. But practical effects, there's the scene of him like on Tatooine again in the big, like the bazaar, the big marketplace with all the tents and stuff. And the little creature walks behind him. And it looks awesome.
Looks pretty real.
Looks pretty real because the artists that make these things are amazing at it.
Yeah, and they're getting even more talented. I think the biggest boon for traditional movies is the word tradition. You've got
tradition.
Yeah, ever since the 1930s, you've been making movies with real characters, and you've been shooting them on camera, on set, things like that, and it's worked so far. We've had a lot of good movies, and mostly you get the bigger budget movies from these movies, not just because they cost more, but because they can rake in the dough. But I mean, then again, Frozen can rake in the dough.
Yeah. The Rapunzel one, Tangled. So I get it mixed up. When I'm thinking about the actual thing, I'm like, oh, Tangled. And then I'm thinking about the movie Tangled, I'm like, Rapunzel.
Yeah.
It's Rapunzel.
You know why they called it Tangled?
Because her hair was tangled.
No, it was because they didn't want boys to not go see a Rapunzel movie.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't call it Rapunzel because they didn't
just called
want to segment.
They should have just called it starring Awesome Chameleon and these other characters.
I like the horse.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, one thing that's a bonus with animated is you can do anything you want.
It's true.
Any kind of special effects, any kind of world-bending stuff.
You want a guy with 3 heads?
Done.
You have a guy with 3 heads.
No problem.
Yeah.
You want a girl with 3 boobs? It was already done in Total Recall, so you better come up with something new.
Yeah, exactly. What are you thinking about there, Michael Bay? I want an explosion. Yeah, that's pretty easy to do in 2D animation.
Yep.
There, so.
I mean, superheroes, perfect realm for 2D animation because there's all kinds of crazy stuff. The Green Lantern Corps
Oh yeah.
Green Lantern, anytime I see their movies, it's great because it's all they call them hard light constructs where they create them with the rings and it's all colored light.
Yeah.
And it just looks so good.
And I'm sure
on
it's a
2D
lot
animation.
easier to draw when they just have to draw in one monotone color.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, oh, I have to draw the outline of this? Okay, that works.
Yep. Well, and in Spider-Man, the animated series, they didn't have to draw broken glass.
Yeah, exactly. Which a lot of people
1990s regulations.
1990s regulations said that they couldn't break glass, they couldn't show children in danger, they couldn't say the word kill or murder. They had to say like demise, your demise is imminent and things like that. And when Spider-Man landed on the roof of a building, he couldn't harm any pigeons.
I don't know why that would be a concern.
I honestly don't either.
No, I'm not saying that in the way of like who cares about pigeons, but I'm saying why would that even be a problem? I mean,
oh, we better not animate any pigeons in this
pigeons
season,
may be
guys.
dumb, but if someone swings by them to land, they're all going to fly away anyways.
Exactly. It's just stupid 90s regulations, like you said. Which, stupid 90s regulations are what made Wolverine a weird character for the X-Men cartoon series.
That's why Wolverine spent most of the time injured.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's why he was always bandaged up. He always had broken ribs. Broken adamantium ribs. Really? Come on.
Well, I think part of that, too, was because he could heal. They realized, oh, we can hurt this character and people won't care about it because he'll just heal.
But no one else. Don't hurt them.
Yeah, like if you break Cyclops' arm, he's out for a week. But if you break Wolverine's arm, oh, well, he's back.
I wish I could only be out for a week if I broke an arm.
Well, they're mutants. I'm sure they all have kind of a enhanced...
They don't, but okay. It's not how they work.
Yeah. Well, that's how I want them to work.
Oh, another side note. I heard an interesting rumor about the word mutants. I thought that... Didn't we hear somewhere that Marvel is now allowed?
I said that on the last podcast, but that's not confirmed.
Not confirmed.
Yeah.
I looked for it. I couldn't find it, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So we'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Basically, which style of movie would you go see the most? If there was a movie coming out, or if there were 3 movies coming out, they all looked really good. One 2D, one 3D, one traditional. Which one would you prefer?
That is a very tough question. 3D CGI would be lowest on my list.
Really?
Yes. And I don't know with traditional versus animated. I love animation.
Yeah.
But I also like seeing how they're able to take characters that have only come from a comic book or, from another book and being able to make them into a traditional movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, keep just talking about it over and over and over again. Days of Future Past.
Yep.
I mean, that was a comic run, and it was like, how the heck are they going to do something like that? And they did it. They pulled it off.
They
was
did
good.
pretty good with it, and they set up for the next movie really nicely too.
Yep.
So I would have to say that mine goes. I would go 2D animation first, because if there's a full-length movie out there in theaters that's 2D animation, yeah, I want to support it, because there needs to be more cartoon animation out there. Even if it were half cartoon, half traditional, like they did with Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Roger Rabbit is one of the most well-done movies out there of its time, because it
blended the two together.
Yeah, they blended it pretty nicely.
It was kind of awkward at times, like when I watch it, and maybe that was just the technology at the time.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then I would probably actually have to go with traditional myself for the next one. If it was a good movie, then I would like if we were thinking about the same movie in 3 different formats. Traditional would be my second choice, because 3D animation usually has its place, but it's not for everything. It's got to have a certain style to it and something that really catches me. Like How to Train Your Dragon, that works perfectly as a 3D movie.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to see a Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D. I wouldn't want to see a Star Wars movie in 3D. Yeah. I don't like the Clone Wars. I think that they have a weird that it just doesn't work. I'd rather see a traditional 2D.
I didn't like him at first, but I like him more now. But yes, you're right. It does kind of take away from the story. For me.
But I mean, if Star Wars 7 was coming out in 2D, traditional, and 3D. Well, if it was Star Wars Episode 7, I'd probably pick the traditional for that one. Oh, yeah. Just because keep the format the same way. But I would rather go see a 2D over a 3D for that, because I think that a 2D animation for Star Wars would look pretty dang good.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of 2D animated movies that I've been able to watch over and over and over again.
Yeah,
There've been a couple.
Lilo and Stitch is one of the ones that you really like.
Iron Giant
is
another one.
Superman.
No following.
Oh, stop it! You're gonna make me cry.
Spoiler alert: he pulls himself back together near the end.
Yeah,
he's not dead.
Yeah, we're okay, people.
He's okay.
Wait, is this a spoiler alert for Vin Diesel's character, the Iron Giant, or another Vin Diesel character?
Oh yeah, spoiler alert: he doesn't die in Fast and Furious. That's what you meant, right?
Yes, exactly. I meant the Fast and the Furious franchise.
You know, another, like, all the Justice League Doom. We've watched that how many times now?
So good.
But then again, other
movies.
movies.
In fact, I might go watch it after this.
other movies that we've seen, the Lego Movie.
Yes,
we've watched that like 12 times.
Which not actually Legos and stop motion animation. There's another format that we didn't talk about.
Oh, geez.
Stop motion.
Totally gloss. That's because it doesn't get made very often.
Yeah, there's very few movies out there.
Most recent one, Box Trolls, coming out.
Which looks like an interesting movie. Kind of looks like a kid movie.
I don't really want to see it.
Yeah, but they make it look really interesting in the trailers with the one guy and showing him getting a scene set up for it.
Now that is awesome. Yeah. I would rather watch a documentary on how they make a stop motion
isn't
animation.
That really weird?
Rather than the actual stop motion animation of Box Trolls.
Yeah.
But that's just because I think the story's going to be dumb.
Yeah.
But it's just me.
So, yeah, I mean, which one do you like the best? We'll give you out the email at the end of the show, or you can leave a comment on the Facebook page or whatever.
Let us know what you like. Maybe some ones that... List some of your favorites. There's a lot that we haven't seen. I mean, I'd never seen Howl's Moving Castle or Princess Mononoke before.
Oh my gosh.
Cory's never seen Spirited Away.
Yeah.
And I need to make him watch it because it is fantastic.
If it's
Hayao Miyazaki film.
If it's at least half of Howl's Moving Castle, I'll like it.
Oh yeah.
Howl's Moving Castle is such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Which
but there's your 2D animation.
Christmas Bell. Sorry, I was thinking Christmas lights, like the Christian Bell. You know how he's complaining about the lights being up and everything.
Christian lights.
Christmas Bell.
I think I'm actually, you know what? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, 2D movies seem to catch me the most.
Yeah.
I like some traditionals. Don't get me wrong. I got Watchmen, V for Vendetta, Guardians of the Galaxy.
But yeah, there's plenty of good traditional movies out there.
But I seem to go back to the 2D movies. I seem to go back and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
They do so much with them. I mean, oh man, all of these great movies. Crisis on Two Earths, for another DC movie example.
Yeah,
really
fantastic.
good.
With the
Owlman and Superwoman, the Crime Syndicate.
Ultraman.
Oh my gosh. I can't. You know, I'm gonna have to go watch one of these now because I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, they're really good.
And I know we keep just saying the DC animated ones, but honestly, those are the best. If you want to talk about, I mean, there's good Disney ones out there. Beauty and the Beast is really good. Lion King is really good. Little Mermaid, etc.
Well, Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. But I mean, if you really want to see some good animated movies that are from the 2000s, you know, that is your way to go.
Yeah. So there's your pros and cons of animated movies. There's not really many cons.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
if they're good, they're good. If not,
yeah, each individual movie has its own merits and demerits. It really, I mean, the only con for animated movies would be if it was a bad animated movie, like if the animators were like, if it was like a Hanna-Barbera, like back in the day, where they reused the same.
Our cousin loves Scooby-Doo. Has always loved Scooby-Doo. I could never get into it.
I like Scooby-Doo.
I could not do it.
I think it's so cheesy.
And that's why I couldn't do it. I'm not a big cheesy movie fan.
Have you heard the Scooby-Doo theory?
What's the Scooby-Doo theory you're talking about?
So the Scooby-Doo theory is that the Scooby-Doo world is a post-Depression world where everything is run down. That's why there's a lot of abandoned carnivals and villages and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's an abnormally high amount of them.
Yes. And that
like
everybody's out of work, scientists, everything like that. So that's why all these scientists are resorting to scaring local people
try to steal money
that they think they've found,
or get stolen doubloons at the bottom of the lake.
Yep. And the Scooby Gang is college students who have dropped out because their degree isn't going to be worth crap for them, and they bum around the country looking for work from these villages and everything like that, claiming that they can help them solve these mysteries.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
kind of like the Aladdin theory, where it's 10,000 years in the future.
Exactly.
That's why they can make pop culture references and stuff.
So
and the flying carpet's just technology, not magic.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool theories out there like that, but that's way off topic. I think that does it for our topic of the week. So let's go ahead and get into our picks of the week.
Okay.
Which mine actually relates, because I want everybody out there to go back and take a look at a little cartoon that came out, I think in 2010, just after the Avengers.
Yep.
The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes is the name of the series.
I'm sad that it stopped.
Yeah, they moved over to another Avengers team, like
a more kid version too.
Yeah, I think it's more kiddie, and it's got the actual Avengers from the movie on it and everything. But Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes is a very well put together TV series that basically details how the Avengers got together and some of their exploits, and they go along pretty well with the storyline of the actual comic books.
Yeah, I power watched through it.
Yeah,
it seems like I had just lost my job. I was like, I needed all kinds of money, so I went and like donated plasma and all this stuff. And while I was in the plasma donation center, I'd watch like 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
And then I'd come home and watch like 4 more episodes in a row, and then I'd watch like 5 more after that. And I pretty much powered through the whole thing in a week or two, and I loved it.
Oh, it's really good, and I wish they would have kept it going instead of switched it over to Avengers Assemble.
Yeah,
which is the new cartoon.
The one thing about it that I really like is the fact that when it does an origin story, it did it great.
Oh yeah,
like all about Ultron,
perfectly.
All about and Thanos, all about all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's awesome.
There were character origin stories that spanned several different episodes. Oh my gosh!
And they weren't just one-offs either.
Yeah,
there were a lot of episodes that tied back to earlier stuff.
I think pretty much every episode had some tie-in to another episode.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
So
go watch it. It's on Netflix. You can watch the whole series on Netflix.
There's 4
seasons?
Some of the others.
3 seasons?
2.
Only 2.
2 or 3.
I thought there was more.
I thought there was only 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll compromise and say 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 of a season.
2.5 of a season.
All right, Scott, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is actually Sideshow Collectibles.
Oh, yes.
I've been drooling over a couple of them.
So Sideshow Collectibles do premium statues.
They do a couple different types of figures. They do fully posable, articulate ones. I mean, we're talking an Iron Man suit that every finger joint is movable.
Yeah, in
his hand.
You can make Iron Man flip off whoever comes into the room.
Exactly, and every single joint has a fully articulated joint in it. So just like a real human body, they move just like them. They can be posed. Those are usually in between like $100 to $180 range. And they're usually called the 6th scale figures, where they're 1/6 the size of a regular person. Yeah. Base, so they're about a foot tall on that. Then they have the just action, or not action figures, but just the plain basic figures.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they're posable. I don't look at them because they're usually not super interesting.
Impressive.
Yeah, they're not very impressive.
It kind of makes up the lower end for people who want a Sideshow collectible but don't want to spend a lot of money.
In fact, they just gave away a life-size replica of the Han Solo in carbonite.
How crazy is that?
It cost $7,000 to buy it.
Gosh.
If you wanted to buy it, and someone just won it. Some girl from from America.
Lucky her.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know Casey's actually won a Spider-Man from them that should be coming in sometime soon.
That is one thing. I love them. That's one downside though, is because they do everything kind of like make to order.
Yeah.
Thing. When you order something, it says estimated ship date June of 2015.
Yeah,
I mean that's almost a whole year away. So, but what they really excel at is their Sideshow Collectibles premium figures, premium format figures.
We're talking like $300 statues here.
They're $300 to $400. They're made out of polystone, which is just a type of sculpting material that they mold them out of.
A good high quality one.
Very high quality. Breakable.
Okay.
More brittle than plastic, but also holds a lot more detail.
Yeah.
And for example, one that just came out that I've been just totally going crazy for, has been Kerrigan,
the Queen of Blades.
Queen of Blades from StarCraft 2. So to give you a example, they are usually 23 to 26 inches tall.
Almost 2 feet.
Sometimes over 2 feet.
Yeah.
They usually sit them up next to an apple, just a red apple, on the base, and the apple barely reaches above the base most of the time. So these are massive statues.
Their Lich King one is amazing, going with another Blizzard character.
Because they're polystone, they can put so much intricate detail into them. They just look fantastic. Go check them out. I think it's sideshowcollectibles.com.
Yep.
That's the website.
And they have contests going all the time. Go enter.
Yeah.
All it takes is you just have to put in your email address. They don't send. You don't have to.
They send you
stuff.
You don't even have to sign up for it, but I do because I like to see the contest.
Yeah.
They send you their newsletter. That just tells you, hey, check out this new figure that we made, but they don't sell your address to anyone, anything like that. They have contests. They come out with new stuff all the time. Stuff that I wouldn't even have thought that
People
would have been popular.
Demanded. Like
Lobo.
Lobo.
A premium format Lobo costs a ridiculous amount of money. It's like $550. But he's like 26 inches tall. It looks awesome.
The main man looks great.
Yeah, it looks just like a comic book.
They have Frog Thor. Throg. Yep. He's one of the figures that you can get, and he looks really good too. So good pick of the week.
Yeah.
Excellent choice.
I just thought of it kind of on the spot because I saw an email come in and it was like, check out our new Kerrigan one. And I'm going to start saving up and picking up a couple of those because they've got that one. They've got a really great Wonder Woman statue out right now. Where she's standing with one leg up on a big rock and she's got her shield and her spear draped across her shoulder.
Oh, so cool.
It looks freaking awesome. And, and then they're coming out with a Power Girl one next.
Yeah.
Which, if you know me at all, that's one of my favorite characters. And not just because of the boob window and her costume. Granted, that's not a negative.
Yeah, it's not a negative.
But she's just such a fun character.
Yeah,
and especially in the new World's Finest comics, they're great.
There's another pick of the week for you. World's Finest.
Hunters of Power Girl.
Hunters of Power Girl.
But Sideshow Collectibles, they got everything. They do a ton of Star Wars stuff. If you're a Star Wars fan, that's where you need to get your Star Wars collectibles.
I think they have a figure of at least 2 or 3 clone troopers together. That are all pointing and working like a team. They have battle droid ones and everything like that.
They've got like Sith Lords that you've never heard of, but they're super popular in the extended universe in the
Darth
books.
Destroyer.
There's actually one. She's a Twi'lek, the one race with the weird tentacle things on their head, but she's red and has tattoos all over her body.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she's holding a lightsaber, a red lightsaber, because she's a Sith.
Yeah,
that one's way cool.
Yeah.
Darth Mara.
Is it Mara Jade?
No, it's
because Mara Jade's
human.
a Twi'lek, but she's not. I don't know. I don't know Star Wars.
Yeah, Mara Jade is I think the daughter or the niece or something of Han Solo and or Luke or something.
I think it might be Mara Jade Solo. So
yeah. So check them out. They're awesome. If you're listening, you can send a couple statues our way, so we'll review them. That'd be great.
Yes, we'd love to unbox them and review them.
Oh yeah, we'll do it on YouTube and stuff for sure.
We actually have a fan submission for a pick of the week this week.
No way.
Yeah, this comes from Laura, and she says that we should check out.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
I've never met you, but I feel like we're good friends.
We already are.
You are a brother of the Brothers Geek.
Yes, a sister of the Brothers Geek.
No, I said it right. A brother of the brother. Everyone's a brother of the Brothers Geek.
Everybody.
All
right. She wants us to check out an app called Ingress. Ingress. Scott, do you remember geocaching from back in the day, where people would put stuff in locations and put it on a map?
I mean, it's still pretty popular.
Oh,
it's not.
I didn't know
it's
it
not
was still popular.
It's not a thing that was only popular for a while. I think it actually got more popular lately.
Oh wow,
more people do it. But yeah.
Well, Ingress is kind of like that. You activate it on your phone, and you can choose one of 2 sides. You can choose what's called the Enlightened, which is a group of people trying to capture this energy that's permeating the world.
The light versus the dark.
Yeah,
got it.
Or the Rebellion, which is trying to make sure that it stays out of the hands of the Enlightened. And you go to places like the Burger Bar in Roy here in Utah is one of these hot spots that have this energy flowing out of it. And you go there, you activate your phone, and you get to start collecting that energy. If you control the area, you can collect it I think a little bit slower, or if you
how do
don't
you
control, I think if you get enough of the energy collected, I think it becomes under your control.
The king. So it's like Foursquare, but for fantasy.
Exactly.
You check in and become the mayor of the place because you're there most.
It's actually more sci-fi than fantasy. It's like a...
Now, are only certain places have these?
Yeah, and they'll show up on your map wherever you are. It'll tell you the nearby locations that have it.
Is it free?
It is free. It is a free app.
Okay, I like free apps.
Yep. And you basically go to these places, and you have to activate your phone, and you have to get out of there quickly before it starts, because an enemy territory will start attacking you. But you can team up with a bunch of different people, and you can all get together and go to a place to overtake it or to collect materials really fast. And it seems like a really cool game. I haven't tried it out quite yet, but Laura says that she likes it.
Now.
You're you're hooked. You're going to be hooked. So that's one more thing that I can get you hooked on.
Yay!
Yay! So thank you, Laura, for that fan submission.
I like addictions, so thank you, Laura.
Yes. You have too many vices right now.
I have way too many vices and not enough time or money for them.
Exactly.
Especially money.
So if you have a fan submission that you would like to give us for pick of the week, or if you'd like to suggest a topic, or just comment on our episode, or send us an email question or something like that, you can do so by emailing us at actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
You can visit our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/actsofgeekery.
You can go to our YouTube page. We actually have a YouTube page at youtube.com/actsofgeekery.
You can also hit us up on Twitter. We are at actsofgeekery.com.
And all
at
those...
actsofgeekery, not .com.
Yeah, at Acts of Geekery. And all of those are ACTS, not AXE.
Correct.
So that is one more episode in the bag. Only so many more to go
in the virtual bucket.
In the virtual bucket, yep. Until we kick it.
Is this a 2D animation bucket or a 3D animation bucket or a traditional bucket?
I think I would prefer it if it were a traditional bucket.
I'm going to make a bucket, and it's going to be the episode bucket, and we're going to put something in it every time.
We're just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and just drop them in there.
We should put money in it. We should put $1 in every time.
$1 per episode, and then we'll use that money to buy a statue from Sideshow Collectibles.
Dibs.
That would be 300 episodes if we wanted to buy a premium format.
Well, we better get on it. Episode a day. Let's do this.
You heard it here first, folks.
3 episodes a day.
All right. Well, I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And this has been Acts of Geekery.
And you're listening to The Brothers Geek. Yep. Keep geeking out.
See ya.